Yo, look. Oh, oh. Hello everybody, Scott MacSween here, back at it again, walking in the woods looking for that sexy monster with the 2 legs. I'm here because I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit, right? We're going to do something a little different today. I've been told that I should rant about things, so I got something to rant about, right? I'm gonna give you guys a little ranty rant. But first, wow, look at the beauty of nature. Look at this ditch. Think about all the bodies you could hide in there. Well, I'm not quite sure how you can go the wrong way in the woods, but let's do it. Now, something that I am not fond of is people who claim to be psychics and astrology. Don't like either of those things. Those things annoy the fuck out of me. Oh shit, look at that carnage. Wow. This probably came through when the storm came through, probably knocked down all these branches and trees and stuff. You know, this is funny. This is another hill I vomited on when I was in track. Oh, way up there. Yeah, I do a lot of that, you know, when I was a big fat boy. So, you know, I realized I have some story about like these psychic people and this type of person who, by the way, almost always happens to be a woman. No slight against the female Scott MacSween fans, if there's any of them out there, but seems to be a woman thing to claim to be psychic and to be into astrology. I don't want to do some science on that. So one time in college, a friend was throwing me a birthday party, and you know, she invited some of her friends over, and there was one of them there was this girl, very nice girl, but she happened to really be into astrology. And later on, I learned she thought she was psychic. Girl overheard me talking with one of the other party goers about astronomy, you know, like the actual science of the heavenly bodies. He goes, oh, you know, do you guys know anything about astrology? And I say, oh no, sorry, we're talking about, you know, science. We're not talking about, you know, your magic. So she goes on to try to convince me about astrology. And the way she does is she just tells me, you know, I had all these people and I read their star charts and it was a breakthrough and we were crying together. And I'm like, is that what passes for evidence for people? You know, personally, I'm like, you know, congratulations, you played connect the dot with the stars, but I don't think it really has anything to say about your life. You know, we know what the stars are. This isn't like 1000 BC anymore. Some people are very married to the idea of magic stars. So, you know, I told her, I'm like, you know, make a star chart for me. Show me what you got. So she sends me a star chart over Facebook Messenger, and I started reading it, reading all the stuff she wrote. And it's telling me things about my feelings of inferiority caused by a traumatic childhood. But I can tell you, my childhood wasn't traumatic, but I do have feelings of inferiority, which is why I have this YouTube channel. I guess she was kind of right. Maybe astrology's true. Maybe the stars are magic. Could be being a Pisces. Why I have this YouTube channel. Or weird space chimps edits, a very Pisces thing to do. Can verify that for me. Professional astrologer. Let me know if my channel is a very Pisces kind of YouTube channel. And I noticed the kind of people who are into these things are also like really big on like environmentalism, which is great. I love environmentalism. Protect these tree nymphs right here. Gotta protect the tree nymphs. Good stuff. But when they talk about environmentalism, they always say, you know, I believe in science. You know, that's why I'm an environmentalist. I believe in science. I see the same people who do the astrology thing say this. And I'm like, you know, yeah, environmentalism and science, you know, that all goes together, obviously. But, you know, I think you might be having some cognitive dissonance if, you know, you're, on one hand, you believe in environmentalism because of science. On the other hand, you think the stars are magic. And then you think you can talk to dead people. Personally, if I could talk to dead people, I'd talk to Lyndon Baines Johnson and tell him he was a mistake. Now, one time I was on a date with a girl, which, you know, believe it or not, that can happen. Believe it or not, there are women who may be into the Scott MacSween. Going on a date with me, that's already the first red flag for crazy. You know, we start talking, and I don't remember what happens, but for some reason, somehow, psychics come up, and she looks down the ground like this. She goes, well, I'm psychic. And naturally, I'm very taken aback by this. This is a very, very strange first date kind of conversation, you know. Oh, yeah, I'm psychic. What should I say back? Like, who's your favorite dead person to talk to? Like, I don't even understand where I continue the conversation with this. But, you know, I didn't even need to because she immediately went into telling me about her favorite dead person to talk to. Not her favorite, but the one that she needed to talk to, because apparently, right, she would work in these old houses and she would claim that like the lady who once lived in the house would come and like attack her in her dreams. So then every time she goes into the house, she looks at the painting of the lady and thanks her and says, thank you for letting me into your house. And so I'm just nodding and smiling because, you know, I don't know what else to do. Weird thing for Scott MacSween to be on a date with a girl, so, you know, if she's a little crazy, might as well deal with it. Might as well deal with the girl who talks to dead people. But then she goes into this whole screed about how she's deeply religious too, and how there's this conflict between her religious views and her satanic magic. Starts telling me about how her aunt is like her Obi-Wan Kenobi, training her with her psychic powers. Needless to say, this date didn't go anywhere. And, you know, speaking of that, you know, I actually once took a girl on a date here to these woods. Yeah, it was very romantic. I got to fall off a cliff in front of her. We never went on another date after that one either. I think I'll know when I found the right woman when someone who can really appreciate the Ufasu lore. Speaking of Ufasu lore, I believe this happens to be the spot where Ufasu gave his first sermon. Just so many historical sites in these woods. Is this an SCP? I mean, people are always posting weird stuff in these woods. Found a little dragon thing the other day, which may sound like one of the monsters. One of the commenters wrote in the comment section. I'm not sure. There may be an alternate version of me suffering in the fourth dimension right now. But this thing also looks kind of weird. Maybe that thing talks to dead people. I don't know. I'd also like to draw attention once more to my very nice flannel. Not shouting out Scene Sween this time, although I guess I just did because he didn't get me this flannel. This one, I don't know where it came from, but it's not from him. It might be from him. Woods is a very nice place to go to de-stress and relax and reconnect with nature. I'd be very mellow right now if you guys didn't have me thinking about psychics and astrology and other magic shit like that. That magic's not real, but I'm telling you, the tree nymphs are real. They're looking at me right now. I'm watching you, tree nymph. As I'm sure you guys have noticed, there's been a significant uptick in the amount of content that I've been producing lately, and it's because it's really helped me with my really bleak outlook on the current global situation right now, as well as my outlook in, you know, being stuck as Scott MacSween. That's why I'm really calm about my inevitable run-in with the sexy monster with the 2 legs, because when it does come to feast on my bones, at least it will mean I don't have to deal with the world anymore, which is pretty good. I'm gonna be dead only for some dumbass fucking psychic to try to start talking to me.